The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
I'm telling you, right now, okay, if the Vancouver Canucks can fix that dressing room, the Canucks are they're gonna make the playoffs. Because Quinn Hughes, he's that damn good. Generational talent. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about that win. And Pettersson of Buffalo, what?
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
People, we back doing this, and that's doing the post-game show at the Don't Doze Art Lab. We got Trevor Beggs at a casino smoking a dart. Trevor, I don't know if you're allowed to smoke on YouTube. That's how you get we can get fired for that, okay? Hacking darts and breaking hearts. Think about the kids, Trevor, okay? Put your dart away, finish your dart. We'll get you in the episode. The Vancouver Canucks, they beat the Capitals 2-1. That was intense. I was clenching my ass. Okay, what I was trying to say, I was stressed out. I was stressed out because it was must-win territory. The Canucks going into tonight's game, 5 points behind the Calgary Flames. That's not a typo, okay? That's not me having an aneurysm, okay? That's not me off the meds. The Canucks were 5 points behind the Calgary Flames heading into this game against the number one team in hockey. And what do? With Kevin Lankinen's help and Quinn Hughes being Quinn Hughes, they pick up 2-1 win. Now they're 3 points behind. Calgary with a game in hand. I think they're like 6 points behind Colorado. They may have 2 games in hand on Colorado. Anyways, the Canucks needed to win that game. And Trevor Beggs needed to go out with the boys to go to the casino and have a couple drinks. And Trevor Beggs, man, looking good, man. Looking good. The drunk Bill. Talk about it, man. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good about a Canucks win, but I think, again, overall, you're talking about a guy that's in Quinn Hughes who is MVP territory. We've talked about it time and time again on this show, every day or so. But both goals for the Canucks tonight, and you had good performances from JT Miller and Brock Besser in the top of the lineup. Elias Pettersson still looking like he is a little stunned out there.
He's checked out. He's checked out. Pettersson's checked out. You know, we'll talk more about this later. Again, must-win game. Tocchet said it. I didn't say it. Look at the math. And look at the end of the game. 2-1, 5 seconds left. Who's on the ice after a lengthy timeout? Is it Elias Pettersson and company? No, it's Teddy Blucher, Connor Garland, and JT Miller. Where's Mr. Selke, huh? Where's the comments, the defensive stalwart? All I'm saying is that's telling. That is telling. But again, keep it positive, baby. Trevor, why you got to go down that path? Okay, keep talking about the positives, okay?
Well, the positives, like you mentioned, Kyle, at the top, is that the Canucks are just a couple points out the wildcard spot. I know it's 3 points out, 1 game in hand to the Calgary Flames. But this Canucks team has definitely a strong chance of making the playoffs. And it's not what we wanted. Not what we wanted at the beginning of the season, but the Washington Capitals right now, and I'll say this, the Washington Capitals, the Canucks got lucky that they had Charlie Lindgren in net tonight. The Washington Capitals, over the last about 6 to 8 weeks, have been a mediocre team, and they've been held up by Logan Thompson, and he's like a .953 save percentage in his last 6 games. So the Canucks
talking shit. Trevor's talking shit. You know, the number one team, 6 straight wins going into today's game, 12 games with points, and you're saying they're mediocre, they're ass. Blah blah blah. Oh, what? Are you not giving the Canucks enough credit by them beating the number one
Kyle,
team in hockey?
Let's not beat around the bush, buddy. I mean, the Canucks
won
tonight's game.
Talk about it.
2-1. Quinn Hughes has both the goals for the Vancouver Canucks. A sick backhander on that first goal. Deacon into the slot, getting that backhand off. That was a sick goal. Like, Kyle, hit the applause button, man. Unbelievable. Quinn Hughes deacon into the slot with that goal was unbelievable. And again, the second one of the game.
No, he's so good, man. He's so good, Trevor. And like, I'll never check out on the Vancouver Canucks. Like, I'm not doing that again. I know we don't got Jason Magna on the team, but right now it is kind of depressing watching this team. Like, going into a game 5 points behind the Calgary Flames, that's ridiculous. That's sad as hell. But again, you gotta tune in, because I've been telling the people, and I know a lot of people have been mad at me. They're checking out, they're unsubscribing. Kyle's so negative, blah blah blah. Y'all keep saying it. Quinn Hughes is that damn good right now, and he could will this team into the playoffs. Like, we watch sports our whole lives. When an athlete is on a tear like this, things can happen in the regular season. And you got to beat Utah, you got to beat St. Louis, you got to beat Calgary. Quinn Hughes can do that.
Well, and he did that tonight, right? Quinn Hughes single-handedly won the Canucks this game. And if you want to give other guys credit, Kevin Lankinen stood the F up tonight, man, with a number of 5-alarm saves throughout the game. I was going to say in the first 2 periods, he really stood out, like keeping the Canucks in it at 2-0 heading into the third period. But Kevin Lankinen was absolutely on one tonight. He's been on one the whole season for the Vancouver Canucks. And if you want to give other guys credit, JT Miller as well, with holding off Pierre-Luc Dubois on the potential game-tying goal. I mean, JT Miller's out there doing what we were praising Elias Pettersson for earlier this month in terms of his defensive awareness, what he brings to the defensive side of the puck. I know Pierre-Luc Dubois is more or less a third liner for the Washington Capitals. I mean, Kyle, I was at the rink this morning, and one thing I did see when I was walking through the hallways was Spencer Carberry in the hallway on a one-on-one with Pierre-Luc Dubois, showing him video of how to get to the net. And I tried to take a peek, a quick glance, but lo and behold, Pierre-Luc Dubois scores in this game, almost as a second for the Washington Capitals. And, you know, he has been a killer for the Vancouver Canucks this season. And at least JT Miller did step up at the end of the game and did tie Pierre-Luc Dubois up there, too, against the Vancouver Canucks.
It's funny how, okay, honestly speaking, a part of me, and again, like some people look at this like it's a effing podcast. It's Trevor and Kyle talking, okay? So I don't get, like, don't come at me with that negative bullshit, like, blah, blah, blah. Just two people talking, okay? Trevor Beggs and I, at the beginning of the season, we recorded, like, some like, uninterrupted hockey talk, okay? And going into the season, we were supposed to like bring up these points, and I brought 1 point up, and I was like, yo, this was September, keep in mind. And I was like, bro, Trevor, I want to talk to you about this, okay? Is Elias Pettersson the next Pierre-Luc Dubois? And there I was, I said that in September, and there I was, again, clenching tonight, okay? Squeezing hard because I was so scared that PLD was going to miraculously make this comeback for the Capitals, and he almost did it. He almost scored 2 goals in like 1 minute. Trevor, like, I know 5 points isn't a lot of points, but tonight was a must-win game, Trevor. Come on. Like, for the playoffs, tonight was a must-win game, and they needed that. Lankinen held strong, and PLD actually didn't kill us. So thank you very much.
Well, Kyle, you're not the only one who called this one a must-win game. You know who also called this a must-win game?
Yeah.
Rick effing Tocchet. Rick Tocchet. And again, that says enough about what you need to do with the Vancouver Canucks right now. Rick Tocchet, in a mid-January game against a Eastern Conference team, called this a must-win game tonight. And again, the Canucks delivered, but did the Canucks deliver or did Quinn Hughes deliver? I mean, look, the thing about the Canucks, we've said it all season long, they have a high floor. And again, Pettersson looks like a third-line center out there, unfortunately. Like, that is a massive, massive issue with this team. But from lines 1 through 4, the guys did play hard tonight. And Rick Tocchet did say at pregame today that the guys are working hard out there, working hard in quotations, but they are working hard out there. And again, this team has a high floor. I think they can play Rick Tocchet hockey, but do they have enough skill to win in the big games? That is the major question mark with this team right now.
Man, oh man. Some people probably looking at Trevor and be like, yo, this is why you're the darkest guy in the program. For real, we just won on a Saturday night. Like, can we just pick up the points and do our thing? Some people are probably looking at Trevor Beggs and like, yo, the Canucks worked hard tonight. Matt Folger was at the game. Like, Matt, the guy, for the most part, I know they sat back in the third period. I know the shots at one point were like 9-2. I'm like, here we go again. What type of philosophy is this in the world of sport to sit back on leads, especially if you're the Canucks? I don't get it. But, hey, yo, the Capitals are bringing it. That being said, I felt for the most part it was a hard-fought game, and most players played hard, including, and I want to get to this before Trevor has to go back into the casino. Don't gamble too much, okay? I know the Canucks suck right now. You're trying to get that serotonin boost from other things in your life, but relax, okay? Canucks suckitis, trust me, it put me in the hospital. I don't want it to put you into a gambling addiction, okay? Anyways, talk about the other EP, okay? Elias Pettersson, because outside of one mistake that he kind of made in the second period that led to like maybe 30 to 40 seconds of Washington pressure, I was impressed.
Yeah, Elias Pettersson looked good tonight, man. And, we're going to have to wait a little bit longer for that Elias Pettersson goal assisted by Elias Pettersson. But, again, he brings a physical presence, and he's an AHL All-Star for a reason. And, again, he's doing that as a rookie. This is his first full season in North America, as most Canuck fans know. And he's out there as a rookie, shutting down the best players in the AHL on the penalty kill at even strength as well. Like, he has been a dog for the Absurd Canucks. And I mean, talk about the sexual innuendos, but Elias Pettersson today, when he was asked about what he brings to the game, he said, I like to keep it simple and hard. And
Simple
Kyle,
and hard, man.
there's nothing more that we like than being hard.
Yeah. I like to keep it simple and hard too. And Trevor Beggs out there saying, one day we'll get that Elias Pettersson goal scored by, assisted by Elias Pettersson. I'm getting both of them confused, or maybe we won't, because apparently Elias Pettersson is going to Buffalo again. And again, no Elias Pettersson at the end of the game. Must-win game. $11.6 million. A two-way center. Like, come on, that's not good enough. That's not, I'm sorry. I know we won the game. I'm just saying, bro, like what? Like, where has this guy fallen? Not only in the eyes of Rick Tocchet, but also in the eyes of Kyle Bowen. Like, is that even well-deserved? Like, maybe, possibly. Like, it's another 0-0-0 game for Mr. 11.6. And Trevor, like, I'll leave you with this and just sign out after this, okay? We have to get the break, but, like, Buffalo, what's the offer, okay, that you will accept from Buffalo? Because a lot of people online are like, oh, nothing, Cousins and Byram, I don't want to do that's going to ruin this franchise. What's the offer that's going to tickle your fancy if, again, 11.6 is not playing games for the Canucks anymore?
Well, Kyle, I'll say this first and foremost. I mean, if you kick me out of here, man, I'm out of here. But if you want me to be out of here, if you want me to stick around,
no, you're allowed to stick around. I thought you had to go back inside. That's okay.
I got nowhere to be, man. Come on, I gotta go home and look after 2 kids, man. Let's go.
Okay, cool. I like it. Thank you.
Okay. Elias Pettersson. So the one trade that I want Canucks fans to think about, if you got this return for Elias Pettersson, and that would be a package or straight up for Dylan Cousins and Owen Power. Kyle, I'll leave it to you before break. Would you do it?
I'm gonna have my answer after the break. That's what you call an entertainment business, okay? We're getting better at this, okay? For real, because this is something to talk about. Like, I'm sorry, this is like in the matter of 24 hours, this guy's in Carolina or in Buffalo. Like, what's going on? And now he's not at the end. He's not on the ice at the end of the game. Like, I don't give it, bro. For everyone talking about this guy being the two-way force and boom, bam, oh, like you got to watch his defense, all this shit. Like, come on, bro. Like, he is maybe checked out. I'm telling you. Maybe.
Well, I'll talk about it after the break too, Kyle. But even when I was in the scrum today, I think there was a big sign to me that this guy is fully checked out of the Canucks.
Oh, okay. This is turning into one of the darkest. Okay, you know what? People got families, so let's get
not
to some
fully
comments
checked out,
about the
but
game
possibly
too.
checked out.
Hey, Trevor. Maybe what we can do also is like, if there's anything else that good that happened in the game, because to me it was Kevin Lankin. It was hard effort. It was Kevin Lankin, and Quinn Hughes just proven again that he is the third best player in hockey right now. Anyways, let's get to break. Shout out FanDuel. And we'll talk more to Trevor Beggs, who's outside a casino and just doing a podcast. And this is 2025, baby. That's what I love, man. One love to Trevor Beggs. Everyone hit the like button for Trevor Beggs, okay? For not spending time with his family, for going to the casino, and now doing a podcast. This is something else, man. Anyways, you're watching and listening to Locked On Canucks. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Yes, FanDuel. It's still in action, okay? Because the NFL is still doing its thing. And this is one of America's number one sportsbooks, an official partner of the NFL. And you got to use FanDuel, especially, again, up until that final drive and that final whistle, okay? And right now, new customers get what? $300. $300. Well, when you bet $5 in bonus bets, if you win your first bet, that's $300. Unbelievable. All you got to do is win your first $5 bet. Come on, this app, it's easy to navigate. You got a variety of bets. Every game's exciting when you put money on the line, right? Plus, when you win, you get paid instantly, no waiting around for your winnings, whether you're betting on your favorite team or just looking to add some extra excitement into the playoffs. Use FanDuel because it's got you covered. Again, that's FanDuel.com, and that's $300 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet if you're a new customer. Make the playoff season more unforgettable with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. We're going to try keeping it positive, or we're going to talk about Pettersson and Buffalo. I don't know. Okay. My tickle is being fancied. My fancy is being tickled. We're also going to read your comments too. Okay. Let's get to it. Look at this from Dan Jardine. Can the Canucks play all their games on Saturdays? What an inconsistent team. Like, this is just something else, right? Like, roller coaster of the season. And now again, the playoff race is back. on. And then Oliver saying DPD is the real $11.6 million player. Trevor, I want to bring this up, and again, people may slap me for this, but today was the first day where I was like, yo, the Canucks got to trade Elias Pettersson so they have some money left over to like give Quinn Hughes the most unbelievable blank check, because money's tight. No, for real. Like, you got to make every dollar count. No, Trevor, this is the truth. You got to make every dollar count if you have one player on your team making the max. And Quinn Hughes is about to make the max. And if Elias Pettersson is not going to live up to 11.6, you know what I'm saying?
Well, the Canucks will have room for Quinn Hughes no matter what, because like whether you trade Pettersson or not, I do think the cap's going to go up to a level where affordability for Quinn Hughes won't be a problem. I mean, the major problem is, kind of like you're alluding to, is Elias Pettersson going to live up to that $11.6 million per season? And right now, he's so far away from that player, and that's the main problem. And you want to talk about tonight, again, a Jekyll and Hyde team. The Canucks win this game tonight because of Quinn Hughes and Kevin Lankin. And Kyle, who have been the two biggest ghosts of the week all season on Locked On Canucks? It has been Quinn Hughes, number one, by far, and then it's been Kevin Lankin. So the two best Vancouver Canucks won the team this game tonight. And again, Kyle, I want to be positive with this team. Like, I bleed the blue and green. I might be wearing the yellow, black, and red tonight, but I bleed the blue and green. And tonight, it's great to get the win. And I do believe the Canucks can make the playoffs. But right now, until Elias Pettersson gets going, and JT Miller and the rest of the team and the big stars get going, this team is nothing more than a middle-of-the-pack team.
Yeah. No, I know. And again, Trevor, middle of the pack, it's like an interesting statement in the world of sports because, again, we're in the West, we're in North America. Half the teams do make the playoffs, okay? And again, like with Quinn Hughes doing this thing, I think he could will this team. And I think there's a part of me that sees it in his eyes. That's like one of the things that he wants to do. I don't think it's about winning the heart and putting himself on the map to that degree. Like, oh, look at what I just did. I single-handedly did it. I willed this team to the playoffs. No, he literally wants to help this team win games because he knows how important it is for the whole culture. You got to stack up wins. You got to stack up playoff appearances before you win the Stanley Cup. Like, you can't take a step backwards. Quinn Hughes is on a mission. But you're right, man. Until Elias Pettersson does his thing, this team is, again, like it's just boring. It really is. There's no ceiling. It's just the floor being a middling team. Now, you asked him before the break, what's the package? Can you say it again? What did you want me to respond to? Owen Powers, Cousins, would you do that? Say it again.
Well, that's the framework of the deal I'm thinking of. And again, for those who missed it, Elliot Friedman tonight on a Hockey Day in Canada, first he said that he was surprised that Elias Pettersson didn't get traded to the Carolina Hurricanes yesterday. And then he says that the Sabres are likely the biggest contender for Elias Pettersson. Now, again, Kyle, for you and for the fans, like you said, Dylan Cousins and Owen Power for Elias Pettersson. Is that a trade you do? Or if that's the type of package, is that the trade you consider?
Honestly speaking, if I'm Alvin, I'm kind of thinking about that offer just a bit. Even though I haven't been impressed completely with Owen Powers, like I just feel like if the Canucks are going to make a huge trade like this involving a center, like if you're going to trade Elias Pettersson and not get an elite center back, let's potentially try to build the craziest defense ever. No, real talk. Let's try doing it. So you swing for Owen Powers, but Trevor, like, it's Elias Pettersson still. There's still some cachet there. Buffalo is not the smartest organization. Like, how is it stupid? Is it dumb for me to say, hey, throw in who do I want to say here? Zach Benson too. Throw in Zach Benson, Dylan Cousins, and give me Owen Powers. Like maybe it'd be Byram, Cousins, and Benson. But like, I don't know. Like, honestly, I'd probably have to take the power deal, you know. But again, I got to ask for Benson too. You just got to do it.
All right, so I will say that if the Sabres threw in Benson, if it was Cousins, Power, and Benson, that is NHL 25 GM on easy mode right there. I mean,
okay.
I know you said the Buffalo Sabres are a dumb organization, and it's hard to argue with that. I mean, only the New York Jets have a longer non-playoff streak in professional sports in North America. But Cousins and Power, again, Power, a number 1 overall pick, Cousins a top 10 pick, Benson a top 15 pick, all for Elias Pettersson, a guy who's been at 55 points the last 82 games.
Oh,
that does seem a bit rich, man, unfortunately. Sorry to say, buddy.
No,
the
it's
Sabres
okay.
say no.
Okay, because, you know, it's just because the way Ray Ferraro was talking about Dylan Cousins, like there was nothing spectacular there, right? And That's why I think it can't be Bowen Byram if you're talking about the defenseman coming back. It's got to be Owen Power because you got to swing for that spectacular coming back. You got to do it, right? And
but answer this, man. Cousins and Power for Pettersson. Do you do it?
I'm not okay. Well, because you know what? I think Benson, like, he could add culture. We need some more like West Coast players. How about
BC Bud?
How about Benson and Power
over Cousins?
Benson over Cousins. Because I think like he's got that edge, bro. He's got that little bit of Matthew Tkachuk in him. You know, I know he hasn't proved it yet, but I want spectacular, man.
I think if you do that, you have to flip Besser for a center.
Yeah.
Because you can't have the Canucks team with Miller as your number one center and Pius Suter, Teddy Bluger, and like Atu Ratu behind him. Like if you trade Pettersson, you need another center. And again, I think with Elias Pettersson right now, again, one of the best players in the league for 5 years leading up to February 2024, and he's just been dog crap ever since. And
okay, but here's my thing though. Like maybe Buffalo is so stupid or so like traumatized via the Jack Eichel trade that again they're willing to go a little extra here. They're willing to go a little extra here. Like I honestly, it's okay. There's so many ways we can go about this, and again, maybe I should just open up this next segment because I think people are missing the point here. Okay, because this trade that's might be happening very soon. People are scared that it's going to ruin the franchise forever, and I'm like, yo, Pettersson and Miller have been here for a long time. The franchise has already been mediocre. Like, what are we comparing this to? Like last year? Anyways, let's run the last segment of the day called The Exit. What's the comment that I want to get to? Okay, right here. This tweet comes from Nick via X. Okay, again, it's called The Exit. We go on Canucks Twitter. It's an interesting place. Okay, we find some places to build off some conversation. But Nick is saying trading Pettersson to Buffalo before his no movement clause kicks in when Pettersson and Hughes had the same agent would be truly amazing. Or truly be something. And I keep seeing this sentiment out there that like you're gonna piss off Quinn Hughes if you trade Elias Pettersson. And to me, I'm like, Quinn Hughes is the ultimate competitor. Yeah, it's about you want to be around your friends. You want to be around the people that you enjoy being around, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, Quinn Hughes and Elias Pettersson put together have not won games. They have not won games. So you think Quinn Hughes is going to care that much if Pettersson gets moved? I don't think so, Trevor. I don't think so.
Kyle, I would tend to agree with you. And again, it's just like a bad month or two. This is a bad calendar year for Elias Pettersson. And Kyle, you've said it before, and everydayers know, I think you and I have been among the biggest Elias Pettersson believers in the Vancouver market. And again, he's now down to being a third line player. I know he might have been second out of line rushes today with Höglander and Karlsson, but he's been a third line player. Again, good defensive floor, physical, but not getting it done in the big moments. And it does make you wonder for the future of the Vancouver Canucks if they do consider a trade like Cousins and Benson, maybe Power, something like that for Elias Pettersson.
Okay, so again, I don't think I'm over exaggerating with this whole like, yo, Pettersson wasn't on the ice at the end of the game. Like that's a pretty telling thing that Teddy Bluger was picked over him. Like that's...
Okay. No, I got to see this too. So my story from earlier.
Okay, say it.
And this is my, again, quick story. I was at the rink today for practice and in a scrum with Pettersson. And this is a sign to me that this guy is more or less kind of checked out with his team. But he was asked about the other Elias Pettersson, DPD, being in the lineup. And he was like, oh, I didn't even realize he was playing today. And if you watch the line rushes, like DPD is clearly with the defensive group, skating with Carson Soucy at practice today for the Vancouver Canucks. And for Pettersson to be like, oh, I didn't even realize he was playing. It's, dude, you have been at NHL practices now for 6 seasons. Do you not see like who you're facing up against in practice? Like you that checked out that you don't know who's around you? I mean, again, small thing, but I do think, to me, it was a sign today that Elias Pettersson is just like, again, totally checked out of the scene. This guy is supposed to be one of the most cerebral guys in the NHL, and he doesn't even realize that the guy with the same name as him is playing his first NHL game. It's like, come on, man. Pay attention to what's going around you.
And yeah, again, like we're going so dark angle here, but again, you're getting paid 11.6. Like, aren't you like the leader on the team that like is in touch with the young guys, like helping like a fellow Swede? I don't know. Like, but here's the thing, Trevor, too. Like, like if he's checked out, Like, if he's checked out, you can't blame him too. Yesterday he gets traded to Carolina, and today he's going to Buffalo. Like, you can't really blame him.
Yeah, and in fairness, Kyle, like he was one of the guys who was requested for media today, and he stepped up to the mic. He was the first guy to step up. So for that criticism, he was the first guy to come out of practice today. So might have been softballed a bit, but he still came out to face the media, I guess.
Yeah, look at this comment from Carmen. Okay, I think Pettersson, realizing he was almost a hurricane yesterday, probably got his feelings hurt, and he doesn't really give an F about some of the Canucks and some of the management and all that stuff. And yeah, again, like, it's just weird times. I know, like, this show just went super dark and super anti Pettersson, but at the end of the day, man, results matter, and we won tonight. But like another 0-0-0. Like, this guy's got like 30 points in like what 40 something plus games. Like, this is downright.
Yeah.
Like, this is downright mediocre, and it's like, yo, do the Canucks need to get off of this contract? It's actually important. It's actually important business because, like I said, if you're gonna give Quinn Hughes the max, like, all those other guys below Quinn Hughes, they got to live up to their contract at the bare minimum. And right now, Pettersson is not doing that. Trevor, let's end on this note. Okay, some positivity. Okay, look at this quote from this tweet from Earth. Okay, shout out to Rinkwide. Quinn Hughes at 54 points. Maybe he's at 55 now. I don't know if this was before the second goal. Has 21 or 22 more points than the closest Canuck and JT Miller. Like, that's crazy, Trevor.
Yeah.
What happened this season?
I believe that is after the game because I think he was at 52 points entering this contest. So
okay,
it's wild. I mean, I saw something out there, but like no Canucks didn't hit 20 goals aside from Quinn Hughes, and DeBrusk and Bester are still on pace to do that. But you could have a season with Quinn Hughes hitting 100 points and Miller and Pettersson not even hitting 20 goals, right? Like, that seems like a realistic possibility at this point.
Yeah, and then look at this tweet from Mark Spector, our best friend. Okay, Quinn Hughes, he might be better than Sergei Zubov, and I'm not sure I can find a higher praise than that. Now, Trevor, no, before you shake your head, a lot of people in the hockey world, you know, they have talked about Sergei Zubov just being that guy. Like, Sergei Zubov used to hack darts during intermissions. Okay, he wasn't like the most bad, but his skill set was just so extraordinary. And Sergei Zubov, a Stanley Cup champion, because maybe a 2-time Stanley Cup champion with the Rangers and the Dallas Stars. Just. Again, like, for a rival to say that, Mark Spector hates the Canucks, but for him to say that, I think like slowly but surely, like, the league's noticing that again. Quinn Hughes is the third best player in hockey.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's top 5, right? I would have Draisaitl, McDavid, Ranton, and McKinnon all up there too. I think Hughes is ahead of McCarr for sure.
Okay, maybe fourth best. I would say fourth best then.
Yeah, but he's right up there in the top 5. Like, he's one of the best players in the NHL. And again, tonight, the Canucks won because of Quinn Hughes, Kevin Lankinen, and a high floor. Like, there wasn't a lot of mistakes, but not a lot of great stuff either aside from Hughes and Lankinen. And again, they can make the playoffs with just that. I really do believe they can. Yeah, but it's just the playoffs versus, like, the ceiling of this team should be so much higher. And the hope should not be completely dissipated. I haven't lost complete hope yet. But again, Hughes, Lankinen, and the team itself gives the team a high floor.
Yeah, no, it's something else, man. Like, what a season! Like, I can't believe we're here. And again, a big win tonight. 3 points behind Calgary. Calgary's got a game in hand. I think 6 or 5 points behind Colorado. We have 2 games in hand on Colorado. Just a lot of like noise around the wild card spot, and it's gonna take a lot of work to get there. But again, people, I truly do believe it. I'll guarantee this: if the Canucks make a trade, I guarantee, because the dressing room and the mental of this team is so, like, it's hard to like gain any momentum and have fun at the rink. Like, it's hard to just like build off things. But if they make a trade and change things up and get that spark, Quinn Hughes is going to lead this team in the playoffs. I guarantee that 100%. If they don't make a trade, I think it's a 50-50 thing.
Yeah, again, I think Quinn Hughes and Kevin Lankinen playing like this and the rest of the team working can get the teams to the playoffs. But again, we'll see. I check out the episode if you want to really believe, can the Canucks be a Cinderella team? There is a path for them to do that. 3 teams in the last 6 seasons prior to this one had a team that everyone counted out at this time of year, Kyle, that made the Stanley Cup Finals. So it is not impossible for the Canucks, but man, oh man, at the top of the lineup, they really need to figure it out because they are miles away from being at their ceiling right now.
Yeah. Okay, anyways, I want to read a couple more comments before I get out of here for sure. I don't know if you're cold, Trevor, if you want to stick around, but people are responding to the Buffalo thing, and it's making me think. We had one from Byron, Matt Folger. I'm sorry, he's saying that Bowen, Byram, and Cousins isn't a bad return at this point. And honestly, I've been a huge fan of Pettersson since day 0. Maybe that's what he's saying. Big fan of Pettersson. Again, some Pettersson fans are just like that. Like they're losing hope, and I think they're scared. Like Trevor, like you brought up the micro stats the other day, like talking about how Pettersson has like 50 points in his last 82 games, but also that he's becoming one of the slower players in hockey. Like for a long period of time, and people are like, "Yo, this might just be Elias Pettersson, man." And then the last comment, I think I wanted to give this one actually to Matt. I can't believe we're doing this, man. People are not gonna like us because we're reading Matt's comments, okay? For real, because this guy's one of the biggest trolls here. But it is like he's just having a field day right now. Every time Pettersson has a hat trick of zeros, he's like, "Yo, boom, bam." Okay, he said, "I would take Pettersson for Cousins and Power." Send them a pick for some salary retention. I don't want any retention on Pettersson's contract. Screw that. No.
Yeah, I think with the Canucks, you almost have to. Again, I know Matt. Shout out to Matt. Every day you're here on Locked On Canucks. He is on the anti-Pettersson train, but to retain on Pettersson, again, a guy who was prior to February of last year been a top 20 scorer in the NHL since he entered the league. It is a big risk either way to either keep him or to ship him off and retain on that side. I think retaining on that salary is too big of a massive risk because with Pettersson, we've seen it. The pure skill is there. Like if you can tap into the mental side of things, the pure skill is there to be one of the best players in hockey. And as Canuck fans, as the most cursed team in NHL history, I would say that Pettersson probably goes on and lights it up if he leaves the Vancouver Canucks. So you really got to hope he taps into it here, or that you get the right pieces back in a trade.
Yeah, and you know what, Trevor? Like, here's a scary thing too. Like, if let's say he continues at this pace post deadline and into the offseason, like I don't think his value is Bowen, Byram, Cousins, and whatever. Like, I think it's dropped significantly.
Yeah.
Like I think it's like really, really, really bad. Speaking of really bad, last comment goes to Mike Laval saying, DPD played really bad. He only played 11 minutes, had a 30% Corsi. Yo, Mike, stop being a nerd, dude. Honestly, all these fancy stats, like I guarantee he's right about those fancy stats, but DPD did not play bad. Okay, for real. Please stop doing that. Stop letting the nerd test dictate the effing complete eye test. Is game 1 for a guy who played the number 1 team in hockey. And he made probably one mistake.
Yeah,
he probably made one mistake. He played fine. He played good. F the nerds today, okay? For real. Trevor Beggs, sign us out. My name's Kyle Bound. Hit the like button. Join the Discord. If Beggsy's connected there, sign us out with your rebuttal to that. But, yo, DPD, congratulations. Congratulations to the Canucks. Shout out to Lankinen. Shout out to Hughes. And let's go make the playoffs.
Yeah, DPD tonight. So, again, with advanced stats, I'm a big nerd. I'm a big fancy stats guy, but the guy with the lowest expected goals to the Vancouver Canucks is Vincent Desharnais. And again, it's because he faces weak-ass competition because he's one of the worst defenders in the NHL. So fancy stats, they do lie sometimes. And with DPD tonight, his first NHL game against the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference. I mean, say what you want about Washington. I think they're not as good as they've been. But they still lines 1 through 4, they can roll out guys who play good hockey. And again, I think DPD held his own tonight. Congrats to the guy who played his first NHL game. He played it in a win, and I think there's a lot more NHL games coming for DPD in the future. So shout out to you for listening to Locked On Canucks. Again, a few deep tonight, man. 420 friendly show here on Locked On Canucks. So shout out to you for tuning in. If you like what we're doing, what Kyle's doing. Again, 89% of the show, Kyle Bowen, doing it for Locked On Canucks. If you like what we're doing, subscribe and like on YouTube on the podcast. Go follow us, leave a 5-star review. I'm Trevor Beggs. That sexy mother. I'm not going to do it. That sexy guy's Kyle Bowen, and you've been listening to Locked On Canucks.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I forgot to do the second ad.